question. John's right there. He'll relay the question, or you guys can. There it is, right there. Yes.
How did you find the families that were featured in the film?
Thank you. The question is, how did we find the families featured in the film? Different ways. With David and Tina Long, we read about their fight with the schools, and I'd heard that they were trying to organize this town hall meeting and met them just before. Jamia we learned about through the news. There was this big story and everyone was talking about this hero that had rescued these kids on this bus from this mad girl, and I thought, well, why did that 14-year-old girl take a gun? What was happening there? And that's how we met her and her family. Kelby we met thanks to Ellen, in Ellen's show. And Alex and this beautiful family we met on our very first day of filming in Sioux City. We saw Alex and went and talked to him and started to film and follow them and get to know them and understand what was happening to him, and that's how we got to know them. And the Smalleys we met almost at the end of our filming when we heard about the death of their child, and so it happened in different ways.
I actually have a question for you, Lee, right here. Right here, actually.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry. I wanted to ask you about the level of access you did get in these schools. How did they react once they've seen the film? And I know people will be interested in knowing what some of those teachers who potentially have seen the films think about your project.
Well, I'm going to actually give that question to Alan, who works in the community and was very instrumental in helping us get that access in the first place. Maybe you could share some of your insights about that.
Sure. Thank you very much for showing the film here this evening. When Lee and I and Cindy Wade with the Wade Institute for Violence Prevention, which has been an integral part of making sure that this film got to be where it was today, through conversation with the superintendent and the school board, we knew that there were things that we wanted to become more familiar with in terms of dealing with and addressing situations like what you saw in the film. It's a work in progress, and so we posed to the school district an opportunity to film, knowing full well that there would be things that the school wouldn't want to see. But there was a certain amount of courage to allow Lee and Cynthia access to the schools, the school buses. We've since had screenings for our school administrators in the district in Sioux City, and we're like you, both moved and concerned, embarrassed, and it's providing a conversation that really hasn't taken place to that depth before. We anticipate having more screenings in our community and obviously other communities around. But the access was unprecedented, and it's also tough to watch at times.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Right there? Yes, sir.
Alex, by the way, very cool hairdo.
Yeah.
Just wanted to thank you guys for the movie, and what's it like being a movie star?
What's it like being a movie star? I don't know.
We appreciate everything. We enjoyed the movie, and thanks for being so brave. All right.
We were all sort of embarrassed looking at some of the responses, and I guess the question is, have you seen anything in any community, either since this film or in other communities you looked at, where it seemed that they had a positive, effective response to bullying to protect kids?
Well, one of the things I think that we're kind of realizing and that we're trying to understand is that, well, maybe I feel this way, I can't speak for everyone that's with me on stage, is that I think bullying is a big national problem, but you can really break it down to building by building. And so, you know, there are schools where there is a really good climate, there's really good culture, and kids feel safe, and bullying isn't acceptable and isn't tolerated. And I mean, just across town where Alex is in school now, he changed schools. He was in the sort of the east track, it was like east and west and this and that, and he's moved to a different school, a high school called West, which has a much better culture and climate. So I think that, you know, when you have a good climate, when it starts with the top and the principal sets a climate and culture that's followed down through the administration, and then you have programs, you have strong mentoring programs, you have support so that when kids are rewarded for not bullying, they're rewarded for looking out for each other, they're rewarding for, they take pride in the fact that their school is a nice place. That's actually real. It's as achievable as creating a school where sort of a different mentality dominates. So, you know, I think that for me anyway, I like to say that it's sort of, it's each educator's like possibility to create that better school climate, that place where bullying is less likely to occur. And we've certainly seen and felt different responses as we've screened the film, but we're still new, and it's still at the early stages of our journey with this film. And hopefully we'll make that impact in folks. How many educators are in the room? Do we have some educators here tonight? That's awesome. I'm really glad you guys came out, and I hope you take this back and talk about it. And like, that's the kind of dialogue we're hoping to create. Thank you for your question.
Right here. Yes.
Hi. I was just wondering how you guys got your footage and where the camera was placed.
Well, I think
That's
I
a
hear
future filmmaker right there.
Future filmmaker. How old are you? Hey. So, actually with this, you know, some movies are made with a big giant crew and lots of gear and stuff, and in the case of the Bully Project, we were really, really small. Sometimes it was just me by myself, sometimes it was myself and Cynthia, my producer. Every once in a while we had a sound person, but we were pretty much a crew of 1 or 2. And the camera that I shot on was a Canon 5D Mark II. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it looks like a still camera, and it doesn't appear like a film camera. So it allowed us to have, or me to have, like a very kind of small footprint or impact. And you know, one of the things that we did with Alex and Alex's story and at East was we tried not to let other kids know that we were focusing on Alex. Like, Alex knew, obviously, but other kids in the school thought we were maybe filming this one or that one or everyone in general, and so, you know, we were just kind of everywhere all over the place, and we sort of became part of the wallpaper, and people started to forget why we were there and what we were doing. But I think the secret sauce of this film was being really small and not feeling like we were some big movie crew, but it was just a very simple operation. Which also means that for you, as an aspiring, maybe you're an aspiring filmmaker, it means you can go out and make a film on your own too. So I encourage you.